High quality trivia.
No, hard questions.
High quality
Hard
questions.
questions.
Hard
quality.
Hard quality questions.
High questions.
High Quinn. High Quinn trivia.
Where am I? Am I here? Oh, I'm here. There I am. Hello. I have to turn me up more because my voice is gone.
And I was on that side, so I had to turn it down.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that makes sense. Are you guys playing? Are we playing?
We're playing HQ trivia right now as we speak.
Live on the podcast?
Live on the podcast. I don't care if we film at 6. We have to do HQ trivia at 6.
Yeah,
Oh, God, this is
we're gonna
dangerous.
try not to have this happen.
No,
every
this
week.
is not happening every week.
No.
Just this week.
This one time, I told you the HQ trivia hype is real, and the prize is $1,000 today.
Luis is in.
We were so close earlier today at the noon show.
Oh, wait. Brett's trying to speak. Let's get him in. Oh, Brett's back in the game, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Brett's here again.
And hey, everybody.
Editor Brett.
Spencer's back here.
Oh, I'm not dead.
Spencer's not dead.
Not yet. Can't kill me yet.
Well,
Close, though. I was very close.
I guess
I
me
was
and
very.
I
was very close.
Yeah.
I
That was
was
almost the end.
I brushed with death.
I think our fans
was
would have made a
pretty rough.
compilation video with all the.
It's just it's just me trying to climb around a table for like 8 hours. That would be the compilation video. That'd
So
be
me
at
and
my
Star are going to be
funeral.
playing HQ. Oh,
wait.
shit. Here we go. You
Oh, is it
guys.
starting? Okay, you have to read the question
Which
or
one of
put it
these-
up to the microwave.
Shit, I don't. Which one of these
South
consonants?
America.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I can't do the podcast and this at the same time. I realize. So I'm going to dip out for a second.
Oh God.
Just answer the questions, Luis.
I can't engage and then do this podcast at the same time. My brain doesn't work that way.
We're just,
Doesn't
we're just
function?
not going to hear Mr. Scott like to answer and talk about the answers to the question.
Yeah, that's true. That's what you're
We'll
gonna
just see it when it pops up.
do. Okay, so you got them into this. I know we talked about this
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week,
yeah.
but I wasn't here.
Right.
So how did you discover this?
Honestly.
Have we already talked about this? Am I repeating
No.
content?
I
Okay.
got into it via Phil and Amanda's tweets on Twitter. They were talking about it and asked for extra lives. I'm like, what is this? And then I.
Which Disney film adaptation is the highest grossing show in the history of Broadway? Lion King.
Lion King.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, so I saw that. I was like, what is this? Okay. And I downloaded it, and then the game started, and I was like, oh, this is going to be my new obsession forever. I love this. This is all I've ever wanted, and how
Jesus.
genius.
Yeah, it is pretty genius.
Because it's not tied to anything. It's just its own app.
Yeah,
You could just.
it's pretty cool.
The idea that you could just make a show and make an app for your show, and it's just like, hey, you don't even need YouTube. You just make the
Here's
thing.
my question though: Why is it not on Android? Is it so hard?
Yeah, get on Android. Are you hearing us, HQ? We know you're listening.
I'm sure they know. I'm sure they know they need to.
Is this okay? So I wasn't able to listen to last week's podcast. Are we just repeating things we've said from last week?
No, not at all.
Okay,
Not
okay.
at all. So-
Because I know it was
Because
themed
I brought
that.
this up like halfway through.
Got it,
Star brought up
okay.
an article about the host last time.
Yeah, because
Oh,
the reason
okay.
why they got like
Burger uses which of these substitutes? Oh,
mushroom. Okay.
sorry
Yeah.
guys.
So it's gonna get hard now after this
Yeah.
third question.
Yeah, and you guys are gonna be struggling, and then you
Oh,
might cry a
no.
little bit.
I have an extra life though, thanks to the Slack.
Hey, shout out to the Slack.
Hey,
this
Slack,
Slack.
if you want to jump on HQ Trivia,
Yeah,
why don't
give
you
it
use
to
my
Luis this
referral
week.
code L like in lion, U like in umbrella, W like in Whataburger. Oh, you guys know what that is. W like in watermelon, I like in I, and the number 12. That's Louis 12, Luwi 12.
Yeah,
Wait,
give
what
it
is
to
a
Luis
Whataburger?
this week.
You don't know what Whataburger is?
Whataburger
Whataburger's
is
a
okay.
Texas thing, right?
Yes,
you
it
said
is.
you said nobody's gonna know this. I thought you just made it up, and you're like, oh yeah, you're not gonna know what that is.
No,
'cause
no, a
you
lot
made
of
it up.
Southern people know what Whataburger is.
Got it. Just me.
There's
I
you,
just don't
you
know
have
what
your
it is.
In-N-Outs, California. You have your White Castle in Chicago. You have your Shake Shack in New York.
Okay.
And then you got your Whataburger.
In Texas.
It's really pronounced what a burger.
Yes.
But we all pronounce it
Not
Whataburger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
Whataburger.
I used to think it was Waterburger.
So did I. I used to
Is
think it was
what
like
a
some type of
burger.
like moisture burger.
I mean, that doesn't
They are.
The
sound
Battle of
great.
Britain was which kind of warfare?
I don't like my.
The Battle Burn was which kind of warfare?
I'm gonna say.
Naval?
I'm gonna go. Shit, I went with naval. Damn it! No, no.
That was not our plan.
We have this strategy where we don't know. We
Wait, what was
each
the
pick
question?
something else.
So we have a strategy that
God
if we
damn
don't
it.
know the answer to the question, me and Star will pick opposite answers.
So
at
one of
least
us
one
will
of us.
live.
Unfortunately, we both picked the same answer.
And
So
was it
let-
wrong?
We don't
We
know
don't know
yet.
yet.
Oh
Oh
God.
no, it's just it's too much
This is
pressure.
This is-
terrible because they don't know what questions we're
I know.
freaking out about.
They don't. Well, I don't even know.
You don't
It
even
was-
know. God damn
Shit,
it, that's
were
it. We
wrong, but
lost.
I
All
have-
right,
well,
you guys
I have,
are out.
I know I have an extra life thanks
Oh,
to
okay.
the Slack.
Thanks to the Slack.
Thanks to the Slack. I'm
Shout out
back-
to the Slack.
back
Hey,
in the
I
game.
was really sick over this past week. Actually, I've
I'm
been
sorry,
sick
can
for
I-
the past like
I'm
2
gonna
weeks.
interrupt-
Yeah,
I'm
you've
s-
been sick
please
for like a
interrupt me.
month.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. This says you're eliminated. Would you like to share? No, I don't want to share. I've been complaining about this in the office all day. Why do I want to share that I lost?
I mean, I shared that I got to number
Okay,
10.
that's different. You have a high score of 10. This isn't telling me I have a high score of anything. This
I
just
feel
says,
like if you get out before question like 3,
Yeah.
it should,
Why would-
before question like
sure,
What
you're
is
a
another
loser.
name for plaster of Paris? Cement, lime, or plaster or gypsum? Shit.
I think
Shit.
it's plaster.
I have no
Well,
idea.
Wait,
plaster's in the name of all of it.
Wait, what's the question?
It's gone. I picked gypsum.
this is
I
fast
don't know.
because
I
you
don't
have
know.
10 seconds to answer each question.
As soon as he starts talking, or she, because sometimes
You can
it's
barely
Sharon.
even Google the question.
I think her
You
name
can
is
barely
Sharon.
Google
I
it.
always is her name Sharon? The other one?
I don't know. You got it right.
Sharon Stone?
Oh shit! I got it right.
Sharon Stone.
Sharon
host-
Stone.
There's a
host-
substitute host because obviously Scott can't host every day. That would be insane. So there's a substitute host named
Who-
Sharon.
Yeah.
What?
Never mind. You guys already talked about it. I was like,
No,
who is
it's not-
this guy?
Oh, he's just some comedian that they hired. And the reason HQ got big last week was because there was some article that, I forgot the name of the company, but they were going to do like a little fluff piece on him, like, hey, this quirky new app, this host, people like him. Hold on. Which Weezer album, initially panned by critics and fans, upon its release was considered the best bands?
Oh, Pinkerton. Pinkerton.
Thank you.
Pinkerton.
Thank you. I did not know that. So they were gonna do a fluff piece on him, and then they contacted HQ's PR to like make sure everything's cool,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And the owner, the guy who created HQ, flipped the fuck out and was just like, no, he's gonna fire Scott if this article comes out and all this stuff. And everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Damn, that question knocked out a
Is
lot
this
of
a
people.
savage question? This might be a
It
It
savage
shouldn't be a
question.
savage question.
Savage.
Savage.
Adam Savage.
So
Randy
once,
Savage.
So once the people writing the article were like, oh, now the story's gonna be about how you're a nut bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not okay.
And so they did that instead.
And then the thing blew up.
And it turned out like the reason he didn't want this article to come out about Scott was because they're all contract workers and like it's about to renew and he's like the host, so he has more leverage
Negotiate.
Now.
to negotiate. And
They gave him-
if like because he's a really good host.
He
He's
is
a
really good.
He's
perfect-
great.
He's a perfect amount of cheesy, but knows how to do like improv. Like
Question time.
Okay, wait. Which of these musicians appeared in several episodes of Different Strokes? John Bon Jovi, Bruce Springsteen, Janet Jackson.
I don't know the answer to
I
that.
think that was Janet Jackson.
No idea.
I think she was acting at the time.
Oh, back when she was an actor.
Yeah. I think it's her.
I didn't know she was an actor.
Yeah, she was in like little TV shows because her, her family was nuts and they made them go and things.
I think it's John.
Remember when
Bon Jovi.
Madonna tried to be in what was it? Die
that's
Another
right.
Day?
Yeah.
Nice.
Who?
Remember Madonna was in Die Another Day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because she
You
also
guys remember Die Another Day?
was-
I grew up with
That
Die
was-
Another
I
Day.
didn't watch
Pierce
my first.
Brosnan.
Yeah.
My
That-
first Bond movie was Daniel Craig.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit. You're a newbie.
Yeah.
You see, I
I had
seen-
zero interest in Bond
when,
movies.
when I was a kid, I would watch like the marathons of like all the different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved.
See, I didn't start
GoldenEye.
watching it until
GoldenEye.
I played GoldenEye, but
Which
I
of these
hadn't.
contains
Which-
roughly 1/5 of the world's fresh water supply. I don't know the answer to that.
Black Sea. I'm gonna go with that one.
Freshwater supply.
It's probably Lake Baki.
This
I didn't-
podcast should be sponsored by HQ Trivia.
Sponsored by HQ Trivia. No. Yeah, when I was young, I watched. I played GoldenEye on
Yeah.
the N64 because who didn't fucking play? If you didn't play GoldenEye on the N64, you were doing the N64 wrong.
It was Lake
You were
Baki.
doing life wrong if you weren't playing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was a part of that revolution, and then I didn't watch Bond until Die Another Day.
That's
Isn't that
why
crazy?
Madonna sang the song for that
Yeah.
movie.
She was also
Guess
in it.
I'll die another
Another
day.
That song's pretty great.
Another day.
I like that
I
song.
want to say there's
though.
some auto tune in there somewhere.
There's
well,
definitely
yeah,
auto
yeah.
tune
Oh, yeah.
there.
I think that was probably around the height of autotune being okay to be in songs.
Yeah.
And noticeably in there, like you're supposed to hear the.
Yeah.
Here's
weirdness.
a fun question. If your favorite artist, like what artist would you like to do a Bond song?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'll start it off.
Adele did a great job.
Adele does,
And
but she did 2 in a row, didn't she?
No, that was Sam Shepard did the last
Oh
one.
yeah. That's right.
There was a moment where I was just listening to that song over and over again.
the same.
Yeah.
Skyfall.
Yeah. No, wait. Skyfall's Adele.
Oh no, that's
I
Adele.
don't know.
Who's
Maybe a
the
Sam
last one?
Smith.
Oh, Sam Smith. That's who it was.
Oh, Sam
Smith.
He already
What
did
I
it?
say?
Sam Shepard.
It's Sam Smith.
Oh, Sam
Oh, so he
Shepard's a
already did.
writer.
Yeah. Sam Smith. Yeah.
R.I.P. Sam Shepard.
Yeah, Sam
actually.
Smith's pretty great.
He's pretty. His voice.
I'm
Holy
trying to
shit.
think of people who have like a
My
soulful,
God.
that soulful.
You know who'd have been great? Would have been
Michael Bublé.
That's a great word to say. Bublé. No, another R.I.P. You guys know her by the name of.
Amy Winehouse.
There you go.
Okay.
Amy
Oh,
Winehouse.
she would have done a
Yeah, she would
great
have been
one.
great. She would have been real.
I think Lady
solid.
Gaga could do a really good one too. I
Yeah.
think
That's
her
true.
voice. Like, who was it? The older man does a lot of crooner music. Actually worked with Lady Gaga.
Oh,
Tom Bennett. Tim Bennett.
Oh,
Tony
Tom-
Bennett.
Tony
Tony
Bennett.
Bennett. Tony
I,
Bennett.
I was thinking of the guy from New Orleans. What's his name? Connick Jr. That guy.
Harry
Connick
Connick
Jr.
Jr.
Yeah, he sings really well too.
Huh. I wonder who.
But
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like younger,
Like young-
younger
like a young-
popper-
Lady
I
Gaga.
would-
Lana
popper
Del Rey.
stars.
like a Lana Del Rey.
Could do it.
I mean Rihanna, but that's kind of
Ooh.
a. That's kind of like
Yeah,
a given.
but that would be
Rihanna
like
would
that
be
would be that would be
amazing.
fun. Oh my God, she'd fucking
Holy
kill it.
shit.
Riri,
I mean, and then Beyonce.
Riri, do a
Yeah,
song, please.
Beyonce.
Fucking Beyonce doing
See,
a.
here's the thing.
Whitney Houston.
I
Imagine
would,
if she.
here's the thing. I would disagree on the Beyonce.
Why was that?
I love Beyonce, but she does like her soulful
Women's
songs aren't as like they're good.
But they're not soulful.
and they're personal. They're very personal, but they're not like. It's a different tone. Like I don't see
I can
her.
see that.
But here's the thing. I think
don't
she could
see her-
write that though. I think she chooses to write that way. But I think as
Yeah.
an artist, she could write a kick-ass Bond theme.
Yeah.
I think she could. I think she has
no,
the
here's
ability.
the thing. If
I
it
think she
happened
could. Here's
and
the
it was
thing. I
announced
think.
that she was like making
I think
a Bond
Beyonce
song,
could
I'd be like,
fly if she
hell
wanted
yeah.
to.
But if
I think
we were
Beyonce could do
picking-
anything.
What about Sia?
Yes.
Sia
would
could
be
do
great.
one.
Sia's
could
pretty
do it.
great.
That's pretty good.
See, I'd go actually with a group.
oh,
I'd go
changing the game.
with Muse. I think they're a
Oh,
British band.
damn.
I think they
Yeah.
would.
That's
I think
pretty
they
good.
They could kill it.
If you're going Muse, you might as well go Radiohead.
That could be fun.
I
Oh,
feel like
that would be
Radiohead would be
cool.
like.
Could I go out of the blue and go with like Justice?
Ooh,
Justice. I don't know
A
Justice.
Justice Bond song?
What's Justice?
I'll play you some Justice afterward.
My name is
I
Justice.
thought you were gonna
Yeah.
say Justin Timberlake, and I was
No.
like,
I thought you were gonna say Justice League.
I don't
No,
know.
no, no.
I like Justin Timberlake. I don't
Justice
think he.
League, Justice League playing a song for Bond.
And Justice is like this French duo thing, and they
Brooding.
do. It's like synth, but like disco synth almost.
What
but,
would a
like,
Mumford
different.
and Sons Bond
that's a
song
bad
be like?
idea.
Actually, I
Imagine
believe it was.
Dragons now.
Yeah.
That's like where this is going. I'm like,
Imagine
I
Dragons.
I believe the Casino Royale, the like reboot, if you want to call it that, or
Yeah.
I think that was Jack White.
Yes.
That was really good.
It was Jack
yeah,
White.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though. I'm down for that.
That was a good question.
Yeah, that was
That
a great
sparked
question.
a lot of. I thought we were gonna go like a couple artists, but we went pretty deep on that
Yeah.
one.
Well, because you can vary, like,
Because you could go, there's all sorts of like vibes you could go for. You could go classic, you could go modern, you could just go let's fuck it, to
Soul,
be
yeah.
weird. Like, yeah.
Crazy.
All you
okay,
need is
well,
the
you should let
graphics.
us know on Twitter or on the
Yeah.
Slack who you would want, because I'm sure we missed
Yeah.
a great
I'm
artist.
sure someone's yelling at the radio or at their phone or at their Android.
So let us know who you'd like to see doing the Bond theme. I am so excited to be alive, and I just
Yeah, what
wanted
was
to-
it? Why were you sick?
So I was dying. So I got sick over Thanksgiving a little bit, and then it wasn't that bad, but it was like I was like, all right, I just need to rest and get better.
yeah.
And then I just died again. Then it just was like,
Whenever you get sick, you seem to be like knocked the fuck out.
well,
like, it's
I have a threshold. Like I have a threshold where like I get sick, and then if I rest, I'm better.
Yeah.
And if I don't rest, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So we did that all nighter,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and then
We talked about that last
and
time.
then I was here I was here till like 4 or something ridiculous. I don't remember how late it was. And then I think my body was just like, nah, you're done
No.
for a while.
No,
You're
yeah.
out.
You didn't show up the rest of the week. I don't think.
no.
I showed up. No.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I was gone. I was gone Monday because I was.
You showed up the.
si- No, I was there Monday. I
You
showed
showed
up.
up once because you were like, I need to show my face.
I
and then
showed
we
up
were
on
all
like Wednesday.
And
Yeah.
we were like,
Go home.
You
And
look
then I
like
did,
you're
and then I got
dying.
worse.
So Yeah, it's interesting.
So I
Yeah.
just wanted to thank. I know I did on the Slack, but I wanted to publicly thank Luis, Ansar, and everybody else in the office for holding down the fort because it was a crazy
Yeah.
time, and I was trying to work from home, edit shit, and it was just not. I was just dying. So
Yeah.
I gave. Oh, and Brett and everybody. I mean,
we couldn't listen. We couldn't actually listen to ourselves last week.
Oh yeah, no, it was doing. Remember when Luis like yelled real loud and then we couldn't listen to ourselves?
yeah.
It's like the
So we had to take our headphones off. I'm not sure if it was made clear in the last podcast when we were talking, but we had to take our headphones off
Because the same thing was happening. We couldn't figure it out.
there was like a slight delay, so we were speaking, and then our voice would,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It messes you. It's like the speech jammer from.
Yeah, that's that's the word.
No, but yeah, thank you guys for holding down the fort. It was not a fun experience, but I'm starting to get back. You can hear my voice.
Yeah.
It's not
Getting
all
sick
the way
is terrible.
there.
You really have to appreciate it makes you appreciate your health.
Yeah, and I hate the main thing that actually happened with the sickness was I lost my voice.
Yeah.
And that's like my least favorite thing ever because I love to talk. And so I was like I couldn't talk, and I was so angry, not angry. I was like so sad.
Yeah.
And everybody kept thinking I was mad at them because I wasn't talking, and I was like, "No, it's just that I can't talk. It hurts me to talk."
Did you guys ever have other experiences where you couldn't talk like you lost your voice that bad?
I had mono in high school. I've told that story before.
Yeah, that's tough. No, I think I've always been able to talk. I think I just had the fever and I was like debilitated and on the couch.
I feel like maybe there's like there must have been at least one or two like sporting events I've been to where
You lost your voice?
the next day, like just like
What was that again?
Do you guys remember last year there was like a week I couldn't speak at Sports Source Med?
Yes.
I think I do remember.
And I
that.
wasn't sick. I just talked
Just
too much
talked-
about anime
yeah.
one weekend
Uh-huh.
with a friend.
And you lost your voice.
And I lost my voice
but
real
you couldn't
bad.
tell us why because you had lost your voice.
Yeah, and so I was just writing on
Yeah,
notes.
you were writing
it was
on
over
stuff.
New Year's weekend too. Like it was, I think about two
that's
and a half,
awful.
3 weeks. I lost my voice
God, it's the
because
worst.
I kept trying to speak because it's hard.
I just had to shut up and just not talk for a while.
It's the worst. I went to a New Year's party with a notepad because I was like, I still want to go out,
And then
and it was not fun
Yeah.
because I couldn't like.
yeah, you couldn't write fast enough to keep up with the conversation.
Yeah, I had pre-prepared like little things of like, I lost my voice. This is how.
I wonder if you could like rig an iPad around your neck and then
Oh my
connect that
God.
to your phone
That and just type.
and then just start typing.
Oh,
and then
that's
it
such a good
appears
idea.
on
I'd
your
rather
chest.
just do the robot voice.
Oh, that'd be cool. Siri
type
can
and
be
speak.
your voice.
Oh, text to speech.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I went to an event on Saturday. That was it was a playtesting that I brought Planetborn to, and so at those playtesting events, you have to explain the game and explain the rules and like talk to everybody and get feedback. And it was the first day I had a full like actually being able to vocalize.
Yeah.
And so that whole day, so I prepped myself because I was like, I'm gonna be talking all day long, and my voice is worse than it is right now, and right now it's pretty like faint. I've had to turn up the microphone, but like, so I went to the grocery store before I went, and I bought one of those gallon jugs of water, like the gallon jugs, and then I bought like a huge packet of cough one of those lozenges,
Yeah.
and then a bunch of tea, and then I just, while I was there, I was just downing this like huge bottle, just a massive oversized bottle of water. And everybody's like, what is wrong with you? But I just step over and I drink water like a crazy man anyways, because I just guzzle it like I don't know why. I just drink water really weird. And so I was like guzzling this gallon of water. Anyway, it helped. I was still voiceless by the end, but I made it all the way through. But I hate it. I hate being voiceless. Oh.
No.
That is amazing.
I didn't know what the end of the story was, but I knew it was going to be that.
That is amazing.
Just after every story.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm happy to be back.
Yay.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the Slack and find some questions.
Actually, before we go to the Slack,
Oh, yeah?
I've made a promise to somebody, and then I have to keep it.
Okay.
It's a promise that I've been meaning to make for months since we've had the podcast.
Okay.
Do you guys know what it is?
No.
It's got something to do with
Australia.
no.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got something to do with Puerto Rico.
Did you make the conquito?
I did make the coquito,
Ah, that's great. Oh,
and
my
I
God.
made an alcohol-free one for you.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh wait, I don't have my lactose pills in here.
It's okay. It's almond milk. Oh, wait a second. Oops, there's a lot of milk in there.
Of course there's a lot of milk. Of course there's a lot of milk in there.
I bet the
go get 'em.
Bailey's was
We'll wait
almond
for
milk.
you.
No.
Yeah, the Bailey's is almond milk,
But
but everything
everything else is gonna be condensed
Ooh, it's a
milk.
lot of condensed and evaporated milk. I don't
Okay.
even know what evaporated milk means.
They just took some milk and left it out in the sun.
Just
Gotta
take all the
catch
water.
it.
Just take all the water.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Go get your pills.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my pills.
Yeah, go get
'cause I
pills.
will actually puke.
This is a
on
blue jar.
Well,
for
that would make
YouTube.
for an exciting.
This is a blue jar, YouTube. So it's not a blue drink.
Thanks for the
They freak out.
clarification.
Were you
That's
guys
so
still at Sam and DJ's like when we did the Defenders Marathon when I
No,
started
but
getting
you
sick?
told that story about
Yeah,
being sick.
the
and
last
it's
hour,
awful.
if anybody was watching that live stream, I just kept getting up
This
to
is
go
mine?
puke in the bathroom because I had
Thank you.
too
Yeah.
much pizza and I didn't take my lactose pill.
So we'll wait for Star to come back.
Okay.
Sorry.
But I
guys.
can explain.
Yeah,
I'll
explain in the
recap
meantime.
everything. Basically, what it is and what I did. So I got this last night thanks to shout out to Sandra at Sandra Saves on the Slack.
Hi, Sandra.
She been wanting for us to try this out for a while. And just to recap on the ingredients, it's half a cup of Bailey's, except for Spencer, a
Sorry,
can
friends.
of sweetened condensed milk, a can of evaporated milk, a can of coconut milk,
So much milk.
a can of cream of coconut, 1.5 cups of hazelnut spread, a teaspoon of cinnamon powder, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a half a cup of Don Q rum. Now,
Except for mine.
except for his. So basically what you do is you just mix it all in a blender.
Do you have a blender?
I do have a blender.
That's
Do you not have a blender?
Most people have
We
blenders.
just got a magic bullet, and I'm excited.
Oh yeah,
about
no, this is a big old blender. This thing filled it up to the brim. It's
That's
huge.
awesome. I want
So yeah, we just mixed it on the blender and then we put it in a glass bottle, and then we made it. We're serving it really cold right now. I'm not gonna lie, I did have some last night. So it won't be a genuine first reaction, but this is the first time I'm having it cold, and I feel like drinking something cold is a little bit different. So,
yeah.
so Brett, I'm gonna share. Ooh, that's a good noise. We got some good noises. That was Star, everybody.
Thank you.
So Brett, I'm gonna give you a.
Bowl.
It made me rant. I ran and I had Coke, so when I came back,
Oh.
my belly was.
Diet Coke, everybody.
So,
Yeah.
so in order to make evaporated milk from scratch, you have to place 2 cups milk in a heavy base sauce.
You
This
made
turn-
evaporated milk from scratch?
no. We were asking.
How do you make it?
How do you make it?
Oh,
So
I
you
was
place-
gonna say, I'm like, you could just buy that in a can. Why would you do that?
You place 2 cups milk in a heavy base saucepan. You place a wooden skewer in the saucepan and make a mark where the top of the milk hits the skewer. You allow the milk to simmer, stirring every couple of minutes, and then strain the evaporated milk into a container and store in the
It's
fridge.
basically just like a
It's
like syrup.
Just
basically.
syrup.
It's like a milk
Yeah,
syrup.
it's gonna be pretty thick.
Oh God. Okay.
You got
Was
your.
it, when you did it, was it brown? Was it like a brown
Okay,
evaporated
a
milk?
lot of it was white, and then when I added the Nutella in there, it made it brown. Basically, the Nutella is what gives it the brown color.
Holy shit! I'm so excited.
So I'm gonna get close.
Oh yeah, we gotta make all the sounds. All right, here we go. I'm gonna open this up.
Oh, wait,
about
this
the
is
mouth
mine?
sound.
That's yours.
I have
yeah.
a whole thing.
I'm gonna clear
Well,
this.
you don't have to drink the whole thing,
I
but
was like, this will kill me.
the thing I know, but the
Like-
thing
Like, this would be,
Ooh.
that's a good noise.
it would be hurling, like, all over this
So this is the
way.
thing. I
Holy
made the
shit.
blender. I put it in a blender, all these ingredients, and it was a lot. I didn't
that.
account for it. Shout out to my lady Sarah Cortez for letting me borrow her jars because
Hell yeah.
I didn't
Toast.
plan. Toast. Hold on.
We have toast. You brought toast too?
Toast. There you go.
That was so anticlimactic. That was awful. That was
Well,
the
we'll
worst
have the
toast
sound,
ever.
the clink
Hold on,
sound
me and
effect
Star.
on later.
Let's see if we can
Wait,
get
Brett,
it.
do you want some of mine? Because I definitely can't drink all of this.
Sure.
Let's see if we can do it. You, me, and Star. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh, is that?
Maybe this will give you a better sound. It's empty.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Let me
Okay.
pour in here.
I
So
think that's still plastic. I don't think that's.
this is
metal.
metal. Oh, you think this is metal?
Is it?
It keeps it cold.
Oh, okay, whatever.
For the listeners at home, our facility offers us these metal cups to drink water or beer.
Oh, I guess they are metal. You're right.
Okay. Cheers, everybody.
All right, here we go.
Coquito.
Wow.
It's real thick,
That is thick.
but it's real good.
That's too thick. It's delicious. It's
It
delicious,
tastes
though.
good.
It's
You know, now-
very good.
Now that the Christmas time is here, I feel like this is an appropriate drink to have.
Is there
Follow
booze
this
in
up with
this?
a hot toddy.
Is there booze in this?
There is booze in it. That's what
Oh,
makes
this
it dangerous.
is dangerous. This does not
That's
taste
exactly
like
what I'm
there's
saying.
booze in this at all.
There is
Well, you
booze
said
in
there's
it.
rum and there's Bailey's.
There's rum and Bailey's in here.
Bailey's is pretty mild, but
This
rum.
tastes like I'm drinking pudding, and I like it.
That's exactly what it is. Is it? I tasted each ingredient
Ooh, baby.
while I was pouring it in. I was like, oh, that's what that tastes like. And yeah, no, condensed milk.
Has anyone here ever made their own eggnog?
No.
No,
Because I used to not be a fan of eggnog.
I just
It's
tried
something
it for
by
the first
store.
time.
Really?
I don't like eggnog.
But if you
love
actually look at all the ingredients, I was like, oh, I actually like all these ingredients. So I ended up making it myself one Christmas, and it turned out excellent.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like eggnog without booze in it because it just tastes like pudding.
This is that's exactly what this. It
This
tastes
is
like pudding.
This
But
is
as soon as you
pudding.
put alcohol in eggnog, like it
Gives a little
destroys all the
bite.
flavors of all the other ingredients. So it's kind of like, eh.
So
But eggnog by itself is just great.
I've discovered something about myself.
Okay.
I would drink pudding. This is a revelation. If you put pudding in a cup, I would drink
Put a
it.
drink it. Yeah. No,
I never thought that I always ate pudding with a spoon.
Yeah, this is a milkshake.
this is
No, this is pudding.
thick.
It's so thick.
This
got a
is
little-
even a
a little-
milkshake.
I mean, I don't know about yours.
like
Our-
I'm
we have-
almost mad at it. Because I'm looking at it and it doesn't.
Wow.
The viscosity of when you like spin it does not look like it's
Yeah,
that thick. But
it
as soon
doesn't.
as you put it on your tongue, it's just like, why does it feel like glue?
It's got
It's very
like a,
thick, but it's good.
It's got like a, we've been talking about this for so long and I love it. It's got like a viscosity that you don't expect.
Because when you pour it around the
that
cup,
evaporated milk. That's what that is.
when you
It's all
swish
the-
it around
yeah.
the cup, it looks pretty loose.
Yeah.
Like normal a
You
normal
put it
drink.
on your mouth and it's like a whole different
Yeah,
experience.
it's like a it's like a little flubber guy in your mouth.
yeah.
Shout out to
God,
Robin
How many
Williams.
calories is this? This is like probably
It's probably a lot.
Yes.
So yeah.
Wow.
every sip feels like 150 calories. Not gonna lie.
So if you replay the ingredients, pretty much all like the evaporated cream of coconut, all that stuff's pretty much just a can. So you get a can of that, and like you throw.
You
a
have enough for 6 people.
Yeah,
is
it
pure
really
This
is.
is enough
This
for
is pure sugar.
Good times.
sugar and alcohol. That's what that is.
So thank you, Sandra, for finally letting us
Yeah.
drink this. Yeah, cheers.
We did it. That's
Now we
amazing.
can go to the questions.
To the questions. Thanks for the people that dropped the questions in. We have questions. Oh, we can't get back farther
I
than
know.
Saturday, November 4th.
We had this issue last time.
So our Slack has officially locked us out. Did you guys
I don't
talk
know
about
what
that
we're
already?
gonna do about it because it's too expensive to actually pay for Slack.
I know. I don't know.
It's so expensive.
And you weren't here, so you don't know which questions we asked.
I don't.
I felt like we answered.
We answered like 3.
I think you just throw them at us and we'll tell you.
And I was gonna say, I'm like, someone suggested Discord. I don't know anything about Discord. But
I
apparently
know.
Oh, what is that? Another?
But but we have Slack.
We
We have so
do,
many people
but
on the Slack
but
already.
Slack's is gonna start letting us down if we can't save our things.
It's gotta
We
get
have-
that sponsorship.
We got to get
baby.
sponsorship.
get
We have to.
sponsored.
We
Hey,
come,
Do you hear that, Slack?
Hey, Slack.
You're on
Hey, Slack.
notice.
Hey, can we get all the people that listen to this? Every one of you. I know you're internet kids.
yes.
Go to Twitter
And
and tweet at Slack.
bomb the hell out of them.
Tell them to sponsor our podcast because we promote them every single time we do a podcast.
every time.
Literally
and,
every
and
single time.
literally send them that Slack video of people of friends coming
Yes.
together.
Yes, the video that they made where we had people that did the New York meetup and literally met because of the Slack. Like, please, we would love
Yeah.
Slack.
And I don't want a paywall. I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And I want.
and we love you, Slack.
We love you, Slack. I always promote about you. I talk about you to everyone.
He walks around the office and tells people.
Hello,
about
Slack. Hello, Slack. Hello, Slack. Someone came to me yesterday, and I was just like, "Hey, I remember me." I was like, "Oh yeah, it's you." And we talked, and
Virtually, they came to you.
no, physically.
Oh,
What do you mean virtually? Not through the internet, like
Oh,
physically. Actually,
physically.
Yeah, they were
Like
here,
in the
Here in
office.
the office, and he was like, "So," and he was with some friends. He's like, "So, we were just having a discussion. What do you prefer, Slack or email?" And I went on this whole tirade of like how much I love
So they
Slack.
asked
Yeah.
you, they were the wrong person to ask that question.
I
We're
know.
just like, oh.
Oh, it's
I
definitely
have
Slack
opinions.
because we were doing, we were trying to upload this video to broadcast standards, which is a whole hell of a mess. Because with digital,
That's
you
too
can
loud,
just
sorry.
with digital you can upload straight like YouTube, Vimeo, or anything. You just drop it in there and simple format, boop, But when you upload to broadcast, you have all these standards. You have to set the time code a certain way. You have to have the audio a certain way. I learned
You have to make stems, right?
you have to make so you have to
Stems was
separate
the easy part.
You have to separate you have to separate all the audio. So you have to separate a track between vocals, sound effects, and music. And then in the videos, you have to have the video and then the graphics. So that's one thing. You have to submit all of that. And now and then you have to like even the colors, you have to put a limiter on them because some colors are too bright and the TVs can't handle it. That was fine. What we had problem with was this thing called loudness. So when everybody knows about dBs, you know, you look at your computer or whatever.
That's decibels.
Yeah, it's decibels. And you always want to keep the dBs like, you know, it depends. A -2, -6, whatever, your preference.
You just keep it at a certain level.
Yes.
And then they came to us like, well, you need to keep the loudness at -24. And I was like, what
I
is
think
that?
both me and Luis did not know what loudness was.
No one in the room knew what loudness was.
Well, we knew what the general idea of loudness
but there's an actual loudness
was.
radar.
But there is but it is a technical term.
Yeah. Yes.
Loudness.
And so it's like you need to keep the loudness at -24 and you need to keep the dBs at -2. And I was like, I can't. Like I had to do a crash course on it, and
Look,
like
this is why they have sound mixers.
that's true. They have sound mixers, and it's like you can have two things at -2 dB, but the loudness can be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it'll sound like I don't even know, like it'll just attack you more. The sound it'll be crunchier and attacks you more with the loudness. So I couldn't make the balance, and they're like, okay, fuck it, just send it to us at -2 dBs. So that was a waste that whole day.
Jesus.
Why did I bring this up? Oh, because I was emailing
Slack.
him. I was emailing him back and forth about how to get this video to him. So because I had to send it to them in time so they could start captioning and put it in their system, and it would have been so much easier if I could have just slacked him instead of emailing him back and forth because I lose track of those threads.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Because it's a conversation. You could actually go like, "Here's a little chat."
Well, and you respond immediately. I mean, that's why
Yeah.
some people use GChat, but like Slack is designed for exactly what you're doing. You can
Exactly.
drop files in.
you could drop files up to a gig.
Yeah.
That's
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Like me and Brett have been working on a video, and like, hey, Brett, I need this file, or he needs a file for me. I'll drop him videos, audios, even the project file that we're working on.
Yeah.
and he'll take it, and it
it's
works
super easy.
Super easy. So Slack,
So Slack,
sponsor us. Slack.
we literally just gave you an advertisement for about 10 minutes.
I did. That's so true. A real life experience of it.
We
Anyway.
gotta start holding like if they don't pony up, if they're not about it, we gotta like hold them hostage.
How?
No,
We can't.
we
need
can't.
to-
We
We
need
talk
Slack.
about them. We talk about them, but then we're passive aggressive about it.
Oh yeah. We'll give him a different name. I don't know.
Slock.
Slock.
On the slock.
All right.
Sounds like-
So what do we got? Any questions?
Okay, I'm gonna try these. You're gonna tell me which ones you already answered. What happened?
No, it's just we've talked a lot. About it.
Talked a lot about Slack. Okay. What do people think your name is based on what you look like? Or what do people
did
think
the-
your name is based on what you
we
look
did
like? You
this
did that
one.
one? Okay. I always I'm gonna answer it because I didn't get to answer it.
Yeah.
I always get Steven.
It's funny how you figured that out right away, and for some
Yeah,
reason,
we sat on
took
that
us a
for a
while. It
it took
while.
us a while to figure out that question.
I don't even remember my answer.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I always
Steven.
get called Steven.
Yeah.
In fact, it just happened to me on Saturday. I was like, I had a name tag on.
Yeah.
You don't look like a Steven though.
You know, I think he looks like. He
I
could
don't
look like
know.
Steven.
I don't know why.
What do you think
What do
he
I
looks
look like?
Scott.
I do look like a Scott.
You do look like an S
S's.
name. Like the S
Yeah.
name is pretty like yeah. Like,
Do you feel like I brought this up last time that the name that you're given, like you, what did I say? You react to that, like your personality.
become your name?
You become your name that's given to you. Have
I
you heard
watched
about
a
that?
Freakonomics thing about this, and I don't remember what I think the result was. It didn't really matter what your
Okay.
name was. Unless your name's something really strange, I don't think it matters.
That's
I
what
think
I
you
think.
just draw
But
correlations
I feel
between
like
things.
yeah, exactly. It's an interesting.
Yeah, mind game. I'm pretty sure they did a study on it for Freakonomics, and I'm pretty sure that it didn't matter what your name was. It was actually a really interesting study because they were studying specifically African American culture names because they give them their children such unique names normally, and so there was this thing where sort of racist people were like,
yeah, it's the whole thing of like if you're on a resume or something, like you judge on like what you think that person is based
Right.
on their name. So in
Right.
that sense, yes, that does come into
That does
play.
come into play. As we're saying, so like if you have a name that is that speaks of a certain culture very strongly, then it can impact the way that other people perceive you. But what was interesting is they were saying that some people who were purposefully or maybe not purposefully racist were like, well, if you name your kid something that is that like that with that kind of what would be
Connotation?
no, just like that style, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
I would
the-
just I'm trying to think of
I don't know how to explain. But basically, if you name a kid,
if you name a child where it's you could clearly tell the culture that they're from and it does not sound generically white.
right,
then-
it doesn't make that kid act differently, but it can impact the way that
I see.
that the people around them respond to them. So what they're saying is that people don't change because of their name. People change
Not
because
like, I'm Brad.
right. People change because of the way that other people perceive them or the way that other people treat them. And other people treat them differently if they have a name that racist people treat them differently
Particularly on
because
paper.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my name has
crazy.
helped me out quite a bit. I don't remember if I repeated this. Cuz the way my mom spelled my name, she was just like it was weird because it was supposed to be spelled Lyn instead of Line, but she didn't like that because she said, quote to her, it sounded too American. She liked Line.
How funny.
I don't know why. To me, it's the same.
Interesting.
I think it's because like she didn't like the name Carolyn, and that's Lyn.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like in that she was just like Line, even
it's
though there's
Caroline.
Caroline, and it's line, not lean. Anyway, I could but I remember in college, the first time I realized that was an advantage that you couldn't tell what I was on paper,
Yeah.
that it was just generic. I was in a class with, it was like one of those weed out classes, basic college course thing.
Yeah.
I think there was 400 students in the class.
Jesus.
It was big auditorium kind of thing. And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like, it's your first class in college. This will be easy, but also kind of weed out. And at some point, I went up after class one day to ask the professor, like, one thing. And, like, when I came up, they're like, oh, what's your name? And I was like, oh, I'm Starline. And they're like, that's who it is. So they recognized, they, like, remembered my name
Yeah.
out of a pack of, like, 400 students. And it, like, stuck out enough where they're like, I wonder who that is.
That is
Yeah.
a good name.
So I was like,
That is a good
oh.
name.
And then I was like, okay. I was like, oh, that's an advantage. I stick out on a form. That's great.
Yeah.
People will remember
Your name.
my name when I'm applying for jobs.
Yeah.
Like, that's
That's
but
great.
It took, I mean, it took like a chance, like, thing of, like, I had to go ask the professor a question.
Yeah. To
but-
realize that.
To realize that. And I was just like, oh. And then when people, and you hear the studies all the time, like, people will submit the same resume with a slightly different
Yeah.
name. And they'll go to call back when they have the more generic sounding
Yeah,
name.
and they did a study and they found that was true. It was the same thing with real estate. They would have applications for renting apartments and things, and they would put different names that connotated different cultures on the applications, and the same application that had a predominantly African American name household
Yeah.
on it, just based on the names, would not get a call back, but the predominantly white would.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
It's just weird how we base that on names because very well could, I mean, a white person could have
Yeah.
they could be named whatever. I mean, it's
And
not
it
like
could-
it's a rule.
Yeah, and it's just people. It's like it's biases and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and yeah.
It's nuts.
Just talking about names and like all that stuff. I've always wanted to do like a documentary about like horoscopes. Yeah,
For a second, I was like, "What?"
Horse?
horses.
No,
I heard horse.
I heard whores.
Horse. I always want to do a
Documentary about
horse.
horse.
This reminds me about horoscopes because they say that Geminis or Capricorns all have certain particular traits.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd like to get a bunch of people born on the same day, exact same day, and see like and play it
How
out.
similar?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they're going to be similar, but I think it's just interesting to show the world.
Do you
Like,
guys-
hey, here's a bunch of Geminis, and they're actually born on the same day.
Do you guys remember Jonathan from SourceFed? Like,
Yeah.
like
Jonathan-
JD's
yeah.
best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have the same birthday.
What?
Wow,
Yeah,
exact same birthday?
Yeah, exact same birthday.
Exact same year?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like 10-year difference.
I was gonna say.
But same birthday, and I always wondered. I'm like, but the only thing I think we have like super in common is that we're both Disney nuts.
But
but everything else
Yeah,
is
it's
like
different.
It's
Yeah.
different.
I know. It's just because people always like, oh, you're a Sagittarius. I get it.
That makes
But here's
sense.
the thing.
It's like, okay.
The horoscope thing will come into play too because of it's the time you were born as well. And even the placement of where you are on the planet. They'll go into all of that. So it's going to be very difficult. You do literally have to find people born in the same hospital.
Same time, same hospital.
Within maybe minutes of each other.
That is so fun, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you see that
That'd be
documentary?
awesome.
Yeah.
Go find those people.
Yeah.
But even then, all the factors, because odds are, if you're born in the same hospital or in the same area, you probably live in the same neighborhood. There's so many, it's too many factors that it could easily be just your environment.
You can call
It could even
Star
just be
Trek.
the appetite. Like if you're in the same neighborhood, you're like maybe the families ate similar foods. It could be. It's too. It's too.
But it's worth trying.
You could see.
It's worth trying to see.
You could see.
You're right.
It's
You're throwing me hurdles. I'm willing to jump.
I'm just saying, like you're gonna have a lot to go through because like.
just do
That's
it.
why horoscopes are fun, but when you really like look into it, you're like, oh, I don't know.
Do it one month at a time.
Well, yeah.
There was a really interesting, so a little bit of a, I don't know how I got this in my brain from there, but I did sort of, maybe you're saying documentary. There's 2 podcasts I'm listening to right now. Not that all of us don't have enough podcasts to listen to, but if you don't have enough podcasts to listen to, you can go on the internet and there's lots and lots of podcasts. But I can recommend 2 that I've just recently listened to. One of them is an episode of a show called Heavyweight.
Okay.
And it was actually on
Not the Ben Stiller vehicle.
No.
Okay.
There's a podcast called Reply All that took a week off, and they put an episode of Heavyweight up. So I listened to it, and it was about a man who was sorry, hold on, I'm dying still.
You want to like every
Oh,
time.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was about a man who who was riding his bike in, I don't remember where it was. I think it was New York or somewhere like that, a big a city, and he got hit by a car, and he remembers getting hit, and then he remembers. Ooh, hello.
Sorry. The story isn't funny. Spencer's
mic just dropped
his
on
pop
him.
screen on the mic just dropped
So
comically.
he got hit by a car, and he remembered getting hit, or maybe he just remembered people telling him he got hit. And then the next thing he remembers is waking up and not being able to move, and it was 13 days later. And he had to go through crazy amounts of rehab. He was like 23 or 24, like super young.
Damn.
And they said that he would never walk again, that he would never like be able to function as a regular human being again. And he was awake when they were telling his parents this, and he could hear it, but they didn't know that he was awake. So he's like hearing the harsh reality of his life.
Shit.
And he was like, I just want to die. Just kill me. So he laid there for a long time, and then he finally mustered up like the willpower to get himself going, and he actually was able to make himself walk again and get back up and start to live a normal life again. And he started with a cane, or he started like just with physical therapy every single day and going to a therapist every single day.
Was it a brain injury or a spinal injury?
They didn't say, or maybe I missed it. I think it was probably a spinal injury because his brain was still fine. Anyway, the important part is that he contacted, or I don't know if he contacted the guy who runs Heavyweight or if Heavyweight contacted him, but basically, they decided that they were going to find the person who hit him.
Oh shit.
Ooh, yeah.
And because
shit.
because here's the thing is he was riding his bike and he pulled out into the intersection and got hit, and it was neither of their fault. And the guy was never found guilty of any like wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't intentionally try and hurt somebody.
Did he
didn't.
stay? Or he like kept going?
No, he stayed. He stayed and was
Okay,
there.
so
And
it's not
like,
like a hunt.
It's not a
It's
hit and
it's not
run.
like a hit and run.
no. This
Okay.
guy was like. They said everybody who was there. I mean, he doesn't remember, but everybody who was there was like this. And he went to like trial for it, but this guy
It
who
was
got
clearly
hit
just an accident.
never went to any of those things. He was just trying to recover as a human being, and his lawyers took care of it, and it was always removed, and he never knew who this person was. But before this, he was like he would like get drunk every night. He was a partier. He was like not, his life was not in a place that it should have been necessarily. Like he was just not living life to the full. He wasn't doing the things he should have been doing as a human being. Like he was just kind of a fuck up. He was,
Yeah.
and the minute he woke up from that thing, he was like, I have a second chance at life, and I'm gonna go make something of myself. And he got up and he like changed his entire
man,
life.
I feel like I wouldn't want to know who hit me.
So he wanted to find him solely so he could thank him, because he was like, I would not have had the life I have now and been as good as, like, I would not have understood life the way I understand it now if it hadn't been for you.
Damn.
And so they find him and they
Shit.
get them in a room together
No.
and they have a conversation, and it is
Cool.
amazing. So go listen to that. It's called Heavyweight. I can't recommend that episode high enough. I don't know what the episode is called.
I
If you go
feel
to
like
Reply All and you find the Heavyweight episode, the newest one, it's right there. But it's really, really,
I feel like
really
I wouldn't
good.
even want. I wouldn't want to talk to the person. I would want to thank them, but I'd be like, find them, give them this note, because I'd want, at least I think in my head, I'd want them to seem like
But see, here's
an
the thing.
otherworldly thing
Is-
that happened to me.
Right.
I don't want the actual reality of like, oh, this person got it. But
This
I'll leave
is
it with
So
a thank you note.
here's the issue. Here's the issue. This person was living their life thinking that they ruined this
Right.
man's
Well, that's why
life.
you give them a thank you note.
Right.
You still give them a note saying, "Hey,
but
what's
it
up?
doesn't,
We're good.
but it
We're
doesn't
cool. We're
impact
cool."
you
I know.
the same way. And so, I don't want to spoil it because it's absolutely worth listening to. And I've already said enough, but like the conversation that they have is one of the most moving pieces of podcast, like podcasting I've heard. It's unreal. So that one's really, really good and really moving, but sort of serious. Obviously.
Yeah. It's
and then
heavy.
It's heavy. And the other one is, I guess, it's sort of heavy too, but it's interesting to me. It's called Heaven's Gate, and it's all about Heaven's Gate, which is the
Oh,
cult.
the cult.
Yeah, and it's Glenn.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's Glenn.
Drinking.
Well, no, that was Jonestown, but yeah, drinking coquitos.
Coquito.
Coquitos. But it was it's Glenn Washington who does Snap Judgment, and holy shit, it's so good. I'm already on episode 5. I think there's only 5 episodes out so far, but he actually used to be. So what's interesting about it is he's doing the podcast. He's like hosting the podcast, and it's all about. If you guys don't know who Heaven's Gate is, it was a cult in the 70s, 60s, 70s. Can't remember. About basically they thought.
the Haley's Comet people, right?
Not they haven't talked about Haley's Comet yet, but it was basically they believe that that it might be, and they might have not gotten there yet. But basically, it's like they believe that the two leaders were aliens from outer space,
Oh yeah, I think this is the Haley's Comet.
and they basically commit mass suicide.
yeah, they
Kool-Aid,
commit mass
classic
suicide.
Kool-Aid.
No,
because
that
they-
was Jonestown.
They do it. They commit mass suicide when Haley's Comet's about to
Oh yeah, maybe that's what it was.
because they think they're gonna hop on.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a fascinating documentary, or a podcast. But what's the most interesting aspect of it, because anybody could have been hosting it and it would have been interesting, but the most interesting part is that Glenn Washington is hosting it, and he formerly used to be. He grew up basically in a religious cult and escaped from it.
Jesus.
And so he brings a really unique, interesting perspective to it, because he goes, look, these people are not necessarily crazy.
Yeah.
These
They're just
people,
born
I
into it,
was,
right?
well, they weren't born into it necessarily,
It's
but
like-
his
it's
parents
brainwashing.
were. It's brainwashed, and so he comes at it from this like perspective of, look, this could happen to anybody, and I know that because it happened to me, and I truly believed these things when I was in this cult, and once I started to see the cracks.
All you need to do to get people into a cult, you just gotta hit them at the right like emotional like point where they're looking for something
Yeah.
to help them with whatever issue that they're going through at the moment. And if you could get them where they're at the right vulnerability, you could convince people of anything.
Yeah. And they had thousands of followers. Anyway, that one's really good too, and I'm in the middle of listening to it right now. But it's really good.
I was stuck in traffic today for like 30 minutes, and I was like, "Ugh, I gotta watch something. I can't be stuck in traffic.
Yep.
So they're not moving, and I turned on Hulu's I Love America with Sarah Silverman.
Yep.
And in the end, basically, it's just like she's meeting people all over America who had different point of views.
Yeah.
She stayed with the family who voted for Trump, and she engaged in a conversation. But like really friendly. Everyone was fine. They were able to have a like friendly dinner and have different opinions. But the end of the episode of the first episode, she talks with I think her name is Deborah. She was from the Westboro
Westboro Baptist Church.
Westboro Baptist Church. And this, this girl.
Yes.
And so she was interviewing her, and she was
The
basically
girl who escaped,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
So she grew up with the church, and she was saying the opinion that all these hateful things that we're saying to these different people, it was done out of a place of love, because that's how we shared our love, was to like almost critique them and shame them and do all these things. And it was only through Twitter that I was able to change, because people were able to engage with me and not behind the picket line where I can't talk to people. Through Twitter, people were able to be patient with me and have a conversation without judgment. And slowly through that, she was able to change, and she met her husband through Twitter.
Yep.
And so,
such a cool story.
And just through
so
engagement.
there's a TED Talk that you can find with
She's
her.
also in the, that's right.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in that story, first of all, I recommend going on and finding Louis Theroux's. His name's kind of hard to spell. THEROUX.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Go and find his like episode of his show on it's on YouTube on Westboro Baptist Church.
Because you see that girl in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she
And
is.
and you could see, it's weird. Like Spencer showed us like a clip of it, like a month ago or something. And you could even see in that moment where you're like, oh, you're not like,
This
you're
girl
in
is-
it.
Yeah.
But
Because this is
you
before
look
she
like
could.
you could be convinced otherwise,
Yeah.
because whenever you brought up a paradoxical like thing from that they talk about, she would actually pause ever so
think.
briefly.
Yeah, and then
to think about
continue.
it,
And then go back to her talking point.
And then like it's like you could see the programming going, I can't answer this now, so revert to like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
programming.
Yeah.
But the fact that she had that pause, she never she had a
She's
moment.
actually thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah,
she would think
processing
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
And so I recommend going to watch that. She's the daughter in that. She's one of the daughters in that.
Isn't she the daughter of the founder or no?
She's a granddaughter of the founder.
That's
I'm
what
pretty
it
sure.
is, which is heavy. Yeah.
But yeah, go watch that because you'll see her, and then afterwards go YouTube her name or just Westboro Baptist Church TED Talk. Don't do it in the reverse order, because if you do it in the reverse order, it won't be as impactful. Go watch the doc. I highly recommend it. It's absolutely worth it. Worth your time. I'm dying still, obviously. And then go watch the TED Talk, because it is fascinating, and you see her older, and and she
She's
talks
more
about
relaxed and calm.
and she talks about. Sorry, guys, that was really loud. She talks about how people were really mean at first on Twitter to her because she was being really mean.
Yeah.
But then there were people that weren't mean, and they were just trying to get to know why
Without judgment.
without
talking with
judgment,
her, yeah.
talking to her, and it literally changed her mind. Like her, not. It's like we say, oh, you changed your mind. No, it literally changed the way she thought about the world. Like it changed her mind, just by having conversations, rational, respectful conversations with people on the internet, which we feel like doesn't exist.
Yeah.
As humans, I feel
Yeah.
as a person before that, I was like, yeah, that doesn't exist. You're never going to convince anybody. She was convinced. So it's an interesting. I mean,
It's a lot of patience.
it's a lot of patience. And her husband was one of the ones who was
That was the
talking
one,
with her.
yeah. It's like a Chinese finger trap. You really don't want to pull at it. Your people are fighting.
It's such a
This
good
is my
comparison.
opinion.
You
This is
gotta
my
take it-
opinion.
Take it nice and slow.
Take it nice and slow.
Few little turns.
Little turns.
I was
little
going to
push.
bring up a weird fact because we were talking about birthdays. Do you guys know what the birthday paradox is?
Yes, I just read about this.
December 28th.
No. The birthday
ninth?
paradox is 23 people. In a room of just 23 people, there's a 50-50 chance that 2 people will have the same birthday.
I don't believe that.
Why?
In a room of 75 people, there's a 99.9 chance of 2 people having the same birthday.
Oh, 90. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so like 75 people in a room, 2 people will have the same birthday.
What's funny is somebody on the Slack has the same birthday as me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have over.
Oh, shout out to Carrot. Yeah.
We definitely have over 75 people in the chat. So
Yeah, and they're like,
it's
"Oh,
gonna
it's my
happen.
birthday." Yeah.
It's just one of those weird math paradoxes.
weird
and I remember when I learned this.
anomaly.
I remember when I learned this, I was like, no. And then of course it was like Jonathan at SourceFed. I was just like,
Same
look,
birthday.
It's so cool
We're
when
the
you see some-
paradox. 'Cause
yeah.
We were at 30. We had like 30 people in the office, and I'm like, oh, that can't be right. And then the 50-50 chance, and sure enough.
But see, here's the thing: is it's a 50-50 chance that 2 people in that group share the same birthday. Not that you and somebody
Not
else
that
share.
everybody shares.
Not that like
Just
you
one,
share.
2
Yeah.
people out
So
of-
like it wouldn't be. So out of like 75 people, it's not that you and somebody else will share a birthday.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
It's
somebody
that
in that
2
group.
In that
people
room.
in that
In the
that
room.
room.
Yeah,
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 in
yeah.
that group
But
will
that's
share a
still
birthday. But it's
wild.
still crazy.
Yeah.
It's still amazing. I wanted to say really quick. So for the people that were just little fetuses when we started out, or were little fetuses on the We Stayed Late podcast,
Old mates,
old mates,
we call them.
people who are here from the sort of the very beginning. You'll remember that one of the early episodes we did, there was a band who came on.
Yeah.
Vista Kicks.
Yes.
So it's so weird because I was yesterday. I was in I was in the bathroom and they play music in the bathroom. I assume to cover up
Yeah.
anything that's happening in
The
there.
music in the bathrooms here is very loud.
It's very loud.
But I appreciate it.
I
Oh,
do
I
too.
never noticed that. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
it's good. One time there wasn't music playing in the bathroom and I was like, I can hear
No.
everything that's happening, and it's not pretty. Anyway, there's a song on. I'm like, oh, I know that song. How do I know this song? And it was them.
Wow.
So
Oh, that's
they are
awesome.
now playing. So they were just playing today too. So
that's awesome.
apparently they're like playing on. I don't know if I think it's iHeartRadio or something, but they have a song on there now. So so you can find them on there. But they're playing in our building, which seems
That's crazy.
fortuitous
That's
or
super
something.
fun.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. I was really excited for them. I sent them a message and they were excited. So.
That means
Okay,
you
I'm
probably
gonna-
got like 2 cents.
Yeah, I know. Every time I listen to it. Okay, one more question. I don't know if you guys have already done this. What mythical beast do you wish was real?
We did
it.
do that.
Ah, okay,
Which
I'm gonna
one?
Answer it.
Yeah. You probably have a better one than yeah.
I just wish elves were real. Is that a mythical beast?
Elves? Oh yeah.
Sure.
I think we went in that whole route because we were like, oh, is it like classical mythical beast or did we
we
go
went-
like Potter and all that? Like we went in the. There's all sorts of options.
Either that or a hydra. That'd be pretty cool too.
a
Those are pretty
Hydra?
cool.
Yeah, because I want to be able to slay it.
But it just keeps growing new.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
don't
like,
care.
I was like, that's okay.
I want the challenge.
How did Hercules kill it?
He cut off all of the heads at once.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I feel like
I will
there
find
was something else special he did, but I can't
my
remember.
way.
Can't remember.
Yeah, but what about the heart? Stab him in the heart.
I think you had to cut it off at like the base
I guess so. I
It's
gotta
like a
rewatch
base.
the animated movie.
thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where you get all your.
I want that. I want that Michael Bolton
Honestly,
song
that
in
was
my
a
life
good movie.
forever.
It didn't do very well in the box office.
Really,
What?
Hercules?
Yeah, it wasn't. one of
I
their
remember
hits.
so many things of that movie. I remember when I watched Disney Channel, they taught you. Oh no, that was Tarzan.
Hey, who put the Glad and Gladiator?
Hercules.
Oh God.
I want a Lorax.
Oh, that's pretty good.
No.
Yeah,
do you
he's
know?
protecting the trees.
Protecting the trees.
We need that right now.
The
I
Lorax.
guess. I don't know. I feel like the Lorax is like in my head like mythical beings aren't as
Fun.
no, don't have like human-esque intelligence. So anything that's essentially you could talk to it like a
Fine.
person.
I'll take a flubber.
Okay.
A
that's
flubber.
fine.
That's a good one.
Also,
Yeah, like just talk anything that you'd be able to have a conversation with. A part of me is just like that's like another person. That's not a mythical being.
So just a quick thing on how to defeat a Hydra.
Okay, good.
In case
Okay.
Spencer does get one. Basically, you.
I want a baby one.
So he got his friend. Hercules got his friend
Uh-huh.
to basically. So as soon as
Is this mythology or is this
actual mythology.
Okay.
It's not
so
Disney.
basically, as soon as he cut one of the heads off,
Uh-huh.
his buddy would basically seal with like a hot brand. With a red hot poker. So
That
that
makes
nothing
it
can
sound
grow
like the
and replace
Hydra
it.
was like dog-sized.
Yeah.
And you're trying to rank. It's like trying to like clip the nails on a cat or something. Where you're like, okay, got it. It's all right. Just hold on. All right, here we go. Go one. And then you're like just holding the head.
Yeah,
Imagine
but
how-
except it's a giant creature.
Yeah.
Cthulhu would be bad, but
Yeah, that would be awful.
But-
no. How about a no?
if we had that kind of chaos,
No.
it would
No.
make things at least interesting. I
You
guess
don't
they're
think
already
it's
interesting
interesting
now.
now?
We have chaos
Are you
already.
kidding me?
Have you seen the
Yeah,
South
but it's a
Park
different
where-
kind of chaos because then all
Which
of
one?
humanity joins together to defeat that outside chaos.
And then one generation later, they forget.
That's true.
There's
What?
a South Park where Eric Cartman befriends Cthulhu, but it's kind of like a parody on My Neighbor Totoro. So,
That's
so-
amazing.
Yeah, so Cthulhu is like this, just like big.
Is that the Studio Ghibli movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
It's their
I need
first
to.
one.
I know.
It's one of those movies with no plot. So I like it. But
I get
there's-
really frustrated. at those movies. I I
But My Neighbor
love the
Totoro-
animation in those movies.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
But
It's
the
just something
plot
beautiful
drives
to
me
look at.
crazy.
But there's literally no plot in My Neighbor Totoro. It's just what it is.
Spirited
except
Away is
Spirited
the,
Away
is
is
the
the best,
one
because there's a plot.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
But there is like the dark rumors of what My Neighbor Totoro actually is about. Have you seen those?
No.
So apparently,
Wait, so give a premise of the movie first.
the premise of My Neighbor Totoro is these two little girls are going off to like a getaway summer thing with their dad, who's going to spend the time at this like cottage writing, and because it's closer to the hospital where their mom is staying at because their mom is sick. And so that's the premise. What ends up happening is the two little girls are like hanging out in like their like meadow backyard, and then they encounter some magical creatures, and it's really cute. Like the little one gets like kind of lost in the forest, and the older one goes after her to find her, and then they find each other, and then they find a Totoro, which is like a big lovable like huggy monster. They like get caught in the rain because they're stuck in
Talk
like
like
the spirit
Pokemon.
world for a little bit. And then they take a cat bus to go see their mom in the hospital. And they don't even go inside. They just kind of wave at her outside the window like, oh, look, there she is. Cool. And then they go back home. Like, that's it. That's the movie.
Yep.
It's
So you
just
can
really,
see my problems with it
Yeah.
from the very beginning.
it's just really cute. There's nothing to it. It's just fun animation. There's like little lint monsters. It's, yeah.
Lint monsters.
I love all of the characters. I love
The
all of the
designs are
animation.
great.
The design
it's
is
just,
great.
It's just a feel-good, cute movie. However, apparently, I mean, and the creator of the I forget his name, the director, he said, no, this is not it. Don't
Miyazaki?
stop being
Miyazaki.
Yeah, he's like, no, this isn't it. But people have been able to correlate the movie with, they think it's about these sisters that actually went missing in an area very similar to that, and that the two girls are actually dead. Like, once they go into the spirit world, they're dead. They're not.
I am on board. That's awesome.
And
That makes it so much better.
because there was in a very similar area where that movie is based off, there was two sisters that I think drowned in a river, and there's little statues of them. And the story, if you follow it that way, that the little one gets lost. Because that's what happened. One got lost. The other one went to go try to find her.
And they
both
died.
They both died. So it would be about these kids essentially entering the spirit world. And the
then
reason they were able to
going
go
to the-
see their mom in the hospital is because their mom's about to like die too, and they're gonna like
yes.
bring her on the cat bus.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so it's
yes.
so people were trying to be
So
like,
much better.
what's this movie that doesn't make any
Please.
sense? Oh, it's actually really dark, but
I
also
love
like
it.
more like kind of thing. Because the dad, whenever they go back home and they try to interact with the dad never responds to them either.
They're ghosts. They're ghosts. They're ghosts.
They're
It's
ghosts.
it.
Like the dad does not
That's it.
recognize that they've come back.
I don't care what Miyazaki says.
And the dad, I think at some point,
They're
because like
ghosts.
the dad kind of sees a Totoro in the tree at some point, like he's just like, oh, like spirits, like but he doesn't react to that his daughters were gone. So it's like, how long have they been actually been dead and all this stuff? Like, so like you could look it up online. It's one of those like classic
Yep.
anime theories to like make the story that's super simple like richer.
Yeah.
And it's just, but it's morbid as
I'm
hell.
about that. I love it.
Interesting.
I like it.
Watch it, watch
I
it.
love
I
it.
gotta watch it and keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. If you keep that in mind, you're
Yeah,
just
it
like,
makes it way
oh.
more
Yeah.
interesting because I've never heard that. Now I'm like, oh yeah, that's so much better. Anyway,
It's cute. It's a cute little thing. The song at the end's and with that song at the end, you're like, oh no,
I know.
because it's just like Totoro, Totoro. Like it's not like
Totoro.
Yeah.
Totoro. Totoro.
you'll like it for the cat bus, Louise.
The cat bus?
Yeah, there's a cat bus.
Think of a bus.
Full of cats?
No.
No,
What?
The bus is the cat.
They enter a cat?
They enter a giant cat
It's
bus.
a cat bus. It's exactly
bus.
What it sounds
Instead
like.
of wheels, it's a bunch of legs. The eyes are the headlights. It's really cute.
Doesn't the cat bus make a reappearance in Spirited Away?
It might be in like the background of something, yeah.
Isn't
Which
there
also ties to the whole thing. It's a spirit realm.
Yep.
People, blah blah
that's
blah.
it.
Isn't Studio Ghibli? Didn't they make a movie where like a bunch of cats? Or no?
I think you're thinking of Aristocats. I'm pretty sure you're thinking of the Disney movie.
I think you're right. There's-
Aristocats.
I forget the name, but yeah, I think there
Oh,
is
they
a-
did
it's
have
like-
that
it's
movie
like-
where it's like there's a cat
they're like
person.
humanoid cats.
Yeah.
I can't
Also,
remember what-
because the Miyazaki goes in and out of retirement all the time, and I think he's currently on retirement. He's back
Yes.
on. The people who worked at Studio Ghibli, they just started another studio, so it's the similar animation style, and I think they're coming out with their first movie soon. It's called like The Witch and the
Witch.
The Witch and the
Witch.
something flower. It's like, and it's about a little girl and her little broomstick, and it's about witches. And I'm gonna go see it because
Yeah.
that's my jam.
I'll
And it's in the
watch anything that
Miyazaki
they do.
style. It's from their animators and stuff. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
That's awesome.
it's called like
excited.
Studio. I forgot. It's on my Twitter. Hold on.
Not
Well,
Studio
keep
Ghibli.
talking. I'm gonna look that up. real
Okay,
quick.
well we're gonna wrap it up because we're over time. I was just gonna play us. Oh, are you gonna play something?
No, I was
gonna-
just looking up to see the cats.
I was gonna play us out.
What is this?
To be a cat. Because the cat's the only cat who knows what's that.
Tell me.
Did you find it, Star?
Is this Disney?
Yes. I love that. Strictly but shoes.
Studio Panak.
Panak.
And
All
the
right.
movie is called Mary and the Witch's Flower.
Mary and the Witch's Flower. All right, well, you're not going to get your normal play-out music today. Today, it's going to be the Aristocats.
I like it when they smash through the levels.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. All right. Brett, you want to give us your hand? Where can people find you online? Give me your
You can
hand.
find me on Instagram at Houston Brett.
Houston Brett. I'm at Spenser Starke.
You can just use me as a referral code for the H2 trivia
Yeah, do
at
it.
Louis12 LUWI12.
And I'm Starline X on Twitter.
That's it.
Yeah.
That we did it.
Ticky.
I survived.
Everybody wants
I didn't know if I was going to make it.
Because the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. When playing jazz, you'll always have a welcome mat. 'Cause everybody
wants to
swing cat.
Goodbye forever.